This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, discounted prices, miniaturemarket.com.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we're going to be trying to plant trees by pledging them and hoping that we can plant them later. Because today we're talking about a trick-taking card game called Eternity. This is a game for 2 to 5 players, and again, it's a trick-taking game with some bidding. Let me show you how it's played. I'll see you on the other side. Eternity is 3 rounds long. This game has 3 different suits. We have the Earth, the Sea, and the Sky. At the beginning of the game, there'll be some cards out here, depending on the amount of players, to show you what Trump is. Whatever suit has the most cards on the table is Trump. If there was just this one, red would be Trump. If it's tied, it's whatever's closer to the left. So in this case, Earth is Trump. There are, of course, these 3 suits, and there's 1 card of each going from number 1 to 14 in each of the 3 suits. Like most trick-taking games, when the first player, the lead player, plays a card, everybody else has to try to follow that suit if they can. So they threw C, the next player also has to play a C if they have one. If you do not have a C, you have to then play Trump. You must if you don't have the lead suit. So in this case, this player didn't have C, but they had Trump, so they have to play it. If you didn't have Trump, then you could play the last suit if you have that card. So in this case, if this was it, this is Trump, so this would win. It's always the highest Trump first. If there's no Trump, then it's the highest that's led. The player who won would take these, and they would stack them into one trick like this, and face up like this, on top, just right in front of them in their tableau. Now, notice nothing changed here with Trump. So Trump for this next card, or next trick in this round, will still be the Earth here. Now, when it's your turn, instead of playing into the trick, you can do what's called pledge. And instead of throwing into the trick, you take any card and you put it sideways in front of you. If it has trees on there, you take the amount of trees that's on that card. In this case, I would be taking 2 because there's 2 trees. This is not part of the trick. It will not go into who wins the trick, and it won't go to into the trick at all. Some of them, if you play them, might have just 1 tree. And some of them that you might play might actually have no trees. So depending on which card you play will tell you how many trees you get. Well, why is all of this important? Well, at the end of the trick, after it's won, only 1 player can pledge per round. Unless you're playing with 5 players, then 2 players can pledge. But 3 or 4 pledges, only 1 player can pledge per trick. So let's say the trick was done, the other player won the trick. What do we do with this? Well, this player would put it up here, trying to change Trump. In this case, Trump didn't change because if it's tied, it's the one to the left. But let's say the board was like that, and then the next trick, somebody else pledged, and it was red. Now, red is Trump, so Trump can change throughout the round. So what do these trees do? Well, if you remember when we won a trick, we put it face down like this. If you have a tree and you have this, you flip it over, see the sign there matches this, and you have now planted a tree. So I have 1 tree planted, but I have 1 unplanted. So once the round's over, meaning all the cards are played, you're going to score points depending on how many tricks you had versus how many trees planted you have. So let's go over that. So it's 3 rounds long, okay? So let's just say we were doing the first round. If you exactly match the amount of trees planted with the amount of tricks, meaning I didn't have any extra trees laying around that weren't planted, you'll get 1 point per trick, which is 1. Plus the harmony bonus. The bonus is different per round. 2 in the first round, 4 in the second round, 7 in the third round. So this player would have gotten 1 point, plus 2, they would have gotten 3. If you had scored 0 tricks, well, and you didn't have any unplanted trees, let's say you had nothing, you'd still at least get the harmony bonus, so you would get 2 in this round. If you had planted trees, no extra trees, but you had unplanted trees, you just get 1 point per trick. In this case, I would just get 2 points for this round. And if I had an extra planted tree that I was not able to plant, you score 0 points, which is really hard. That's it. After 3 rounds, whoever has the most points is the winner. All right, there's Eternity. Now, I've been loving trick-taking games more and more. This year, I've played a lot of them. This one is pretty darn interesting. The artwork is really cool. The stylistic things of the different pictures and the colors and stuff that are used is really cool. That Earth, the sea, the sky, they all look really cool there. And it is somewhat of a pretty simple trick-taking game. You're leading. You have to lead if you have to follow suit if you can. If not, you have to throw trump, but if not, you can throw anything you want. Pretty simple. But it's that bidding element that's really cool, and that whole trump, the pledging, where one player can pledge. Sometimes you'll be pledging with a card with nothing on it. Sometimes you'll be pledging with one tree and sometimes two, and that's what you're bidding on. And everything hinges on making your bid exactly, because if you can make your bid exactly, you're gonna get the bonus points for that round. If not, you're gonna get 0 if you've taken at least one tree. So you really are trying to bid exactly. You do have perfect information in this game. There's 1 through 14, there are 3 different suits. I prefer trick-taking games where you don't know exactly what cards are out there. Other people like having perfect information. This game has that, and I didn't see any variant where you wouldn't have that. The 2-player variant has a little bit of that. It works decently well. We like that as well. But overall, it's a good, fascinating game. I love that bidding aspect. Really turns it on its head. When you're playing with 5 players, 2 people get to try to pledge, and that helps things out. But overall, yeah, you're trying to find the right time to bid, to pledge, and pledging changes trump, which is the big twist in this game, because sometimes you'll pledge a card with no trees just to change trump because you got a bunch of trumps and you want to be able to win some more tricks. So overall, it's a good little trick-taking game that's fresh and unique, feels like a regular trick-taking game with just a few twists that make it interesting and unique. And that's what I love about trick-taking games, is that they're pretty standard, but there's some twists that make it different, and this does that, and it does it with a really cool style. So if you like this one, it's kind of hard to get. I don't think there's a US distributor or North American distributor yet, but if you like trick-taking games, this might be worth it for you to run this one down, and that's Eternity.
This video was sponsored by Miniature Market's Review Corner. The Review Corner features podcasts, video, and written game reviews by gamers for gamers. Miniature Market, the online gaming superstore. Thousands of board games, discounted prices. Check them out at miniaturemarket.com. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for backing me on Kickstarter, making this season become a reality. I'd like to especially thank those here that have backed me at the credit level. Now, these video reviews are also available by audio on our podcast. It's the intros and the final thoughts on GameBoyGeek.com. Click podcast.